Yeah. Right, so you guys want to know what the last 2 years have been like? You remember my Sweden bracelet? Yeah. Well, yikes. There has been a very significant number of events that have happened since my last video in April 2017. Just to, get it out of the way, that whole other girl thing, yeah, that never went anywhere, so that's good. Good job, 2017 me. However, it was not long until another girl decided to very gently walk her way into my life. And when I say very gently, that whole ordeal actually made me go to Birmingham, England that September. Yeah, literally ran away so I wouldn't have to deal with some of those things. However, that only worked for a very short amount of time. Also, if you couldn't tell, this video is 1000% going to be about another girl. And when I say another girl, I actually mean two girls. So, September 2017, I got to England, and it was pretty amazing. I made a lot of really good friends. And when I say that, I mean like two. They're like prime friends. And me being the genius that I am, I was like, oh, I should probably get Tinder, because only good things happen on Tinder, right? Why am I like this? On Tinder, I meet a girl, and we'll call her Sarah. And Sarah was a really attractive, really awesome girl, and got along really well, extraordinarily well. And then she decided to gently lower down some pretty heavy baggage. Now, when I say baggage, I don't mean like, she puts like ketchup on her cereal, which is like a completely normal thing to do. She just got out of a relationship that lasted like 4 years. And keep in mind, we're only like 18 at this point. So I'm thinking like, okay, right, so I've never been in a relationship. I'd be like, yeah, this girl's the one, probably gotta deal with anything she says. This goes on for about 2.5 months, and that is when something that should have been a red flag came up, and I was not smart enough to register it. And when I say that, I mean literally everyone I told was telling me it's a red flag, and I was like, nah, I probably know what's up. There was a party at her house, and her boyfriend was not invited, but her ex-boyfriend was. See, just saying that, I don't know how.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine, and you're not really fine.
Anyway, she cheats on me that night. Don't know why I expected anything else. And the next day, she breaks up with me. What followed was a very slow, no, that's just not right, pretty aggressive just decline in my overall mental health, because I was in a really weird point where I just constantly felt that I needed a girl to basically be the best Sam that I could be. I, of course, will definitely be better with a girl in my future. That being said, this was not the goal I was going after. I very firmly believed that in the present, I could only be happy with a girl. Now, this is like mid-December 2017, first semester in England. All right, but this, I really wasn't into it, and I just had to deal with it until June, and I just didn't know if I could stick around for that long. So my best friend in Birmingham, he basically took me outside and walked with me. Just walked for like 5 hours into the night. And after that point in time, I knew the UK would turn out all right. I had such a deep feeling that things would be okay. Right after she broke up with me, she went to a really popular club in the UK called Prism. Drinks are quite expensive. Now, she calls me and she's like, hey Sam, yeah, so I ran out of money, so I sucked this guy's did. I'm thinking there, the strangest feeling. I've never felt it before. It was like in my chest. I literally thought I could just run across water. That's how high the nervous energy was. It just like kept sliding into my DMs, and I was like, yeah, nah, I'm not doing this. I was leaving her on read, and over time, the next couple months, she just like kept repeating these things, and I wasn't keen. And then my time in the UK was starting to come to an end, and I've done so much in those 2 semesters. I made great friends. I've seen so many things. I had to start closing some loose ends, and this girl, Sarah, she was one of them. So I call her up. I don't know what she was thinking when I suggested we do this, but she brings her boyfriend. Like, I don't know if she's just trying to flex on me or something. And I basically tell her that I really enjoyed my time with her, even though the ending was a bit rocky. Yeah, and then I have to say bye to my friends, and that was devastating. And I eventually get back to the US, and I finish my final year in undergrad, but I knew I wasn't done with England yet. It was just this feeling. I wasn't done, and I didn't think I could be done for a long time. So I knew I had to go back. So I am coming to you from Leeds in the United Kingdom of Great Britain, and something interesting has happened the other day, and it's really hard to pass this up as anything other than something divine. Now, I picked Leeds and the University of Leeds very strategically. There was a whole methodology available to me. I got accepted into schools from London, from Birmingham, from Leeds, and from all of them, I chose Leeds. This city, I researched into it, and I just vibed the most. I actually just get nervous thinking about this. In order to fully understand this, I need to rewind a little bit back into summer of this year. I was hanging out with one of my best friends from my childhood, and his cousin wanders over, who also happens to be one of my really good friends, and we were all just bonding, you know, like doing the thing, and this kid's little sister wanders over. Now, I haven't seen her in like a year. I always considered myself sort of like a big brother figure to this girl, and since I was in Birmingham, I missed like a year of her life, and there's only like 5 of them. Like, you know, that's 20% of her life right there. And now she can like fully talk, and like it was crazy to see that transformation. Anyway, she wants me to go, you know, see her horse riding. She's amazing on it. She wants me to, you know, come with her to do all these things. And I don't actually have a little sister, so having this, you know, alternate little sister figure in my life was really nice. And it was one of the harder parts to come back to the UK, leaving all of my friends and my family and everyone. And I told her that I would see her again before I left. Now, I did see her ride a few days before I left, but I promised her I'd see her one more time, and I didn't. It was terrible of me. So I wanted to get her Christmas present. So I'm thinking, what could she possibly want? And I know she really likes horses, naturally. I feel like we'll finish this later. So I'm thinking, okay, horses. Where? And then first thing that comes to mind is Build-A-Bear Workshop. They have to have horses. So, you know, I'm in Leeds, so I take an Uber. And I was expecting like a one-off shop. However, it was actually in the middle of this gigantic shopping mall. So, wander around for like 20 minutes trying to find this place. And I finally find it. I'm about to walk in and start to get a little bit nervous because now I'm like, okay, I'm you know, early 20s guy about to walk into a Build-A-Bear Workshop. Probably not their target demographic, you know, slightly over the age suggestion. Every other guy in there has to be like a dad. I'm freaking out, and I eventually walk in, and I'm thinking, okay, just put the confidence on, like it'll be fine. I go in, a girl helps me, you know, figure out what I sort of want. They don't have any horses, but they have a reindeer. I'm thinking, okay, well, it's like kind of the same, like I'm sure she'll appreciate it. And the scroll was like, yeah, so just take it over to the girl sitting down over there and fill them up with the Philly stuff. So I go over to this other girl sitting down to, you know, inflate them. She asks me where I'm from, like we start talking, we start getting on like pretty well, and then looks directly at me, and I don't want to hype anything up or anything, but She may be the prettiest girl I've ever seen in my entire life. And I'm like talking to everyone in there, like customers, everyone. They were just so amazed that I was from the US, like no one has ever come through from there before. So I'm having a good time. I see her and I'm thinking, okay, like I don't have any way to talk to her again. Since I was in like her workplace, that's like kind of the equivalent of asking for your waitress's number at a restaurant if they flirt with you because they want to get like a larger tip. And I was like, yeah, no, I can't just ask for her number. Like that's so nah. You gotta do better than this, Sam. So naturally, I'm trying to think of like the smoothest way to get this thing done. And what ends up happening is I just leave with nothing. The reason why this was so crazy is because while she was helping me, I looked at her name tag and it was Sarah, the same as the ex that messed me up for so long. Okay, I would not have been in the UK for a longer time if it wasn't for, my best friend's little sister back then. If it wasn't for my ex-girlfriend Sarah, I wouldn't even be doing the UK thing because I wouldn't have stayed there for that long. And then I chose Leeds, and then I chose Build-A-Bear. There were so many tiny things that could have changed, and I wouldn't have been there on that day. It was so strange, and it was a feeling that I never had before. So I was thinking, I want to talk to her again. Of course, that didn't actually end up happening because I left. I think I'm more just intrigued that all of these things happened to lead to that one moment. And I need to believe in myself that all of the decisions that I've made have been the right ones. Now, I've made some bad decisions, but all of those bad decisions kept building on certain traits that I didn't even know I had. And now I find myself in such a unique situation that it almost seems that it was built for me. And I've never thought that about anything before. I will leave you with one thing. The reason that these experiences have been so traumatic for me, and really I think for a lot of guys, is because they think that they need someone to love, and that gives them their own sense of power, of strength. What they don't understand, and it took me a long time to figure it out, and I couldn't have done it without my friends, my family. The love is inside of you. It's the love for yourself. And that's the love you use to love someone else. Someone who is empty, the love that they give off, it's not what you're looking for. I am the answer I've been looking for. One of my favorite quotes that I've kept with me over this last year, I was very much getting pushed around a lot, and I didn't even notice it because I thought I had to do whatever I needed to do to stay in a relationship, to stay in a lot of situations. Something that you need to keep in mind, something that I keep in mind every day, is I will be the one to decide. Now, the way you interpret that is completely up to you. The way I interpret it is I won't be pushed around. I need to do what's best for me. I need to do what's best for my family, my friends. Don't take someone else's toxicity because you think you can change them. I promise you, if they want to change, they would have changed. And I'm ashamed it took me this long to figure it out. But anyway, I'm Sam, you're you, and I'll see you later. Peace.